The last 2 feet we're going to play with is how to put a walking foot on for when you're working with batting or fabrics that are very stretchy, even minky and cuddle fabrics, and how to do some free motion quilting. So both these accessories are optional. A free motion quilting foot and a walking foot are slightly different. They do need to be attached to the side of the machine. So the first thing you're going to do is locate your screwdriver in your accessory box and unscrew the entire foot and ankle from the side of the machine. We're going to do all this with a straight stitch, so I've got it all set up for that, and just slide this whole mechanism off. Now I like to usually leave a foot attached to this because this doesn't always look like much when it's in your accessory box. So if you're looking for a foot, that's a little easier to find later. That's a little trick. Okay, let's go ahead and do the walking foot first. A walking foot utilizes your feed dogs to pull everything through, but it has one extra little element I need to point out before I put it on. So right here's where we're going to attach the screw through, but there's this arm. This arm cut is what actually makes a walking foot activate. This arm must sit above the needle screw right here. So as I kind of hold it in my hand, I'll put my little thumb between the bottom and the arm so it kind of stays up. And I'm going to come in from the right side. As I bring it around, I'm really making sure that that arm is above the needle screw. So it looks like this as it comes around, and then you're just going to go ahead and tighten this screw so the whole entire walking foot is snug up against that post. And again, you double check that that white arm is above the screw you loosen to take your needle in and out. So we're on a straight stitch. You can do any decorative stitch or any of the zigzags, other stitches on this machine. I might not try a buttonhole, but you never know what you might find out. And then here, let's just take a look. We have everything layered like a little sandwich with batting and back. If you sew with just a regular presser foot, you're going to find that that bottom layer is going to slide with the batting in it. Now it's hard to tell, but the foot has not been lowered yet. You do need to make sure that you lower that onto the fabric before you start to sew. And then just go ahead. Usually I put on a little bit thicker needle, like a top stitch needle. But once you get stitching, you can see that you really have a lot of capabilities when you're working on fabrics that are slippery or stretchy. You can go ahead and stitch like a normal person because the walking foot is pulling with the teeth on the top, working with the teeth underneath, and pulling all the layers together. If you're finding that you're having to push the fabric through by any chance, make sure that you go ahead and lengthen it to a longer stitch length, but otherwise you just treat it like a standard presser foot. Now as you can tell, it is a little bit louder just because there's more going on here. It is something that when I'm done working on these specialty fabrics, I do make sure that I switch back to my standard foot when just normal sewing is involved, like 2 layers of fabric. But all in all, this is a perfect foot for a lot of those fabrics that might have a little bit more attitude than what you were expecting when you sat down to sew. We'll put links below to find walking feet and free motion feet and other Singer accessories that will be available for this machine.